of the questions that I hear a lot from people is, when should we be connecting with employees about performance issues? One of the models I found, which really does a nice job in explaining this, is from the Vanderbilt University Medical Center. And so we have the majority of employees are performing, they're conducting themselves as they should, but then something happens, we would call it a single incident with a particular employee. We want to think about the merit, because lots of times little things happen. Is it really important to engage in a conversation? Is it a one-time incident that will really never come up again? Or is it something where the employee self-corrects? For example, they give some information over the phone, they realize they've given out the wrong information, they pick up the phone, they make the call back to for example, the customer, and they correct the information. So they're really self-corrected. There's no reason to have a conversation. But these single incidents are types of things that we would call an informal intervention. So it's the cup of coffee conversation. It's kind of a casual, just want to make you aware type of conversation. Then, of course, there are mandated issues, and we all have issues in our organization that even if it's something that happens one time, it has to be written up or escalated in some fashion. That could be things like sexual harassment or any policies that are very stringent that have to be followed. The next stage, we've got this apparent pattern. So perhaps the single incident wasn't addressed. Now there's an apparent pattern that's going on with a particular employee. We want to think about this as there needs to be awareness, and there needs to be some sort of intervention to let the person know that something else is expected. The next level up, we've got the persistent pattern. So this is a pattern that you would say has been going on for quite some time. It could be months. We know people in our organization where the pattern has been going on for years. And so at this point, you're thinking about there needs to be some sort of authority intervention type plan. It's pretty serious. Maybe there's a warning, there's a performance improvement plan that gets put into place. And at the very top, there's been no change at all. And we are ready at this point really to help the person out the door. There's some sort of disciplinary intervention that goes along. So one of the things I do is I ask, when do most managers first intervene when there's a performance issue? Is it just in time, early stages with the informal feedback we talked about? Is it B, when a known pattern has developed? Or is it C, after it's been going on for so long that people are just ready, the manager's ready to fire the employee, and of course they want human resources help in getting rid of the person. So one of the webinars that I did recently, I had asked that question, and it was just 2% said they give early informal feedback. 68% said the person gets feedback and information when a known pattern is developed. And then 30% say that the person hears about the performance issue when the manager really is ready just to get rid of them, ready to fire them. And so the whole point in looking at this is thinking about giving people feedback early on when it's the single incident, really before it's even turned into this apparent pattern. Many times people can get their act together, they just need a little bit of redirection. And if you look at the video on the Johari window, which talks about things that people know and things that people don't know, it might be in their blind spot. What if it's something that the employee has no idea about in terms of something they need to work on, something they need to develop? Those things can really derail an employee's career and their ability to move on in the organization and to be respected and to be seen as a key player. So it's really critical for managers to be having these conversations informally, early as possible.